Let's queer up the USA view. From LGBTQ plus news partner The 19th and writer Kate Sosin. We've always been told that Black trans women have a life expectancy of 35. New reporting says that's false. Avery Everhart, a postdoctoral research fellow at the University of Michigan, has researched the life expectancy statistic and says it originates from a 2015 report by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights and Violence Against LGBTQ people in Latin America. The document anecdotally mentions that, quote, Latin American organizations report that life expectancy of trans women in the region is between 30 and 35 years of age, end quote. Read more about the truth behind the statistic at 19thnews.org.
Now hold on for a second. How does this strike you, Carlo?
Because it's true, man. It's unfortunate. I didn't need statistics for that, but it's actually it's kind of sobering too. But that could be changed, and we can change that. And I'm a standing proof of that. I don't mind sharing it. I'm over 35, so I'm old school trans right here. But it's unfortunate that I've seen so many friends from people I know, things that they're not here, and
I mean, it does shine a spotlight on all of the inequities
that we have,
that particularly black trans women's face, but also how hard it is to have any sort of statistical research on our communities, right? Because we're not people who are often tracked or recorded,
or want to be, or want to be seen. That's the other thing too.
So I, as an education and trainer, have said that statistic on a microphone in an audience full of people, and one person challenged me. I think it was a couple years ago, like maybe as early as 2019. And I went and I did research it and like, wait a minute, where did this number come from?
Right.
This article is correct. That is a statistic from the Latino community, 30 to 35, and it has been translated to the people of color and or Black community. However, in the 90s, when I first came out, no trans person and even no entertainer and or drag queen lived to be over 40 years old. That was a fact. It was just a reality. And then when HIV was no longer a death sentence, and there's a lot of reasons that go into this, not just HIV, but self-harming, self-medicating. If you don't have a doctor prescribing your hormones and you're self-medicating, what about your kidneys? What about your livers? What about injecting things into your body? What about hate crime? What about suicidal ideation? There are many things that factor into
What about all the policies that are attacking us that keep us from having housing and employment?
And like you said, I don't think that there's any study out there. So I think instead of helping the situation, yes, I realize you don't want this to be a self-proclamation of your future. However, instead of being a part of the problem, be a part of the solution. Tell us how to accurately track the data instead of saying the data is wrong. Also, look at the social determinants of health. Google it. Everyone can Google it. This is a real thing. Social determinants of health, economic stability, neighborhood and environment, social support, education, literacy, access to food and healthcare. These things factor how long you live. These things factor how healthy you are as a human being. And if we're going to look at people of color, you are going to look at much marginalization in these categories. They don't have access. They are stripped, and they are targets of hate crime. That is just a fact. That is just a reality. So yeah, maybe there's not a great broad study of Black people or white people or trans people because most of us are stealth and don't want to participate in a survey. And when a college does come to me, FIU, FAU, UF, or whatever, like, hey, I want to pay your clients $150 to participate in study, most of them won't even do it, and they're getting paid. It doesn't make sense to me. So don't say that it's wrong, because in reality, I would venture to say it's probably lower than 35.